Okay. Hello, and thanks for joining us at the very lovely Circuito Estoril. We're here for the launch of the all-new Lamborghini Temerario. It's the crucial new successor to the Huracan, Lamborghini's most successful super sports car to date, 29,000 sales. So this has a big job to do. And with me, I have Mr. Mitja Borkert,
Hello,
Design
everyone.
Director for Lamborghini, and he's going to give us a design deep dive into the car. And so Mitja, good morning.
Good morning, Gautam. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well. And before I actually get you to give us a walk around, I have three observations.
Okay.
First is that this is not so much evolution, it's revolution. It's a complete departure from
Thank
the
you.
Huracan.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some familiar design DNA, lots of hexagons everywhere. But basically, the design language is completely new. The Huracan was a lot of sharp edges and flat surfaces. Here you have a few more curves, so it's more classical in a sense. Second observation is that you don't do the family face, which I really like, because some car brands make everything look very much the same. There's a couple of British sports car brands also which do that, but this looks very different to the Revuelto. So I'm keen to hear what your thoughts were when you were setting out to design this car.
I mean, first of all, your observations are the right ones. Yeah? So with the Temerario, of course, we are opening now a new book because we want to have this also a legendary Lamborghini as they all were. And in terms of design, I'm always starting, of course, that the car is stepping into the same footsteps using the design DNA that started with the Countach, always having our center silhouette. Yeah? But we are always playing music with our design. So in the case of the Temerario, we play a different type of rhythm. We are using the hexagon, as you already said, and we are doing always something that is unexpected. The Temerario is using more puristic shapes. I call it the iconic and essential design language, which means it is like an athlete that is coming out of the gym. Yeah? So we have puristic shapes, but these are even emphasizing even more than the sharp areas of the car. Your observation with the hexagon is clear. So the front took already, let's say, a pre-inspiration on the Essenza SCV12 track-only car that we did. So we have here a very sharp and shark nose front. Then with an hexagon that is surrounding the actual hexagon DRL that makes the Temerario recognizable from far away. It's not just the light, it's also our philosophy to have here hidden aerodynamical solutions. So for example, also the indicator is an aerodynamical tunnel because we need a lot of air also for this performant front end. We see here some sketches, so we wanted to have the car also with a lot of differentiation to the Revuelto. So for me, the Temerario, in Italy, it's a female, so she is the rebellious sister of the Revuelto, and we want anyway to stimulate our customer to have all the Lamborghinis in their garage, as they usually have a big collection. So when you look at the Temerario, we have a very clear rhythm with the hexagon. We're using it on the DLO, but it makes also sense because the lowest point here is then also reflected with the interior, feel like a pilot, so you can see perfectly the apex when you drive the car. We have the hexagon on the body side. Maybe you will remember the Terzo Millennio show car from some years ago. We were using the same kind of feeling on the rear fender, also being a little bit more athletic. We have large surfaces here, so it is really spectacular, but then also beautiful when you see the car in the rear view. In this case here, we have the Alleggerita, so the lightweight version, where we have already this nice graphic and a lot of carbon fiber. And I don't know if you remember, I like a lot motorcycles, especially the sporty ones. So when you see the rear view, you can see motorcycle feeling, you can see Lamborghini feeling, you can see Countach feeling, you see exposed tires. I see also a little bit, I don't know, like a Formula One volume in the center. So the focus is, of course, to show the engine. It's a V8 engine, so biturbo, so we couldn't show it as open as we did with the Revuelto, but with this kind of subframe that we did. We integrated this motorcycle feeling. So because in the end of the day, you want to discover the technology of Lamborghini, and the best is when you discover it, you know, seeing really all the mechanical parts of the car. So therefore, the high-mounted exhaust pipe in the hexagonal shape. Also, as in the front, we have the hexagon tail lights. You see the details, you know, even in the small surfaces, we have the little hexagons, and you can discover the car in a really nice way.
Yeah, I must say that for me, the rear angle and the rear three-quarter is the real knockout angle
Yes,
with this
thank
car.
you.
I just love the rear. I think it's, I mean, it's beautiful, but also just, it's really aggressive. But one thing I've got to ask you, maybe it's a silly question, with those really aggressive cutaways, is it likely to throw up a lot of stones on poorly surfaced roads?
I think not, because otherwise, when you drive behind a sport motorcycle, you would have stones that are get thrown to you. No, it's not happening. We are of course fulfilling with the car all the requirements. As you can imagine, such a super sports car has to fulfill everything for also what regards head impact and, you know, all the pedestrian protection. Sure. And, you know, in the end of the day, it is a piece of art. For us designers, is a long journey through the design process, and then to make it then happen as a real car. So every surface that you see is not just designed with love and care, but then also it is integrating aerodynamic, and so every surface is a high performance surface.
Yeah, exactly, because you mentioned aerodynamics, and if I'm correct, you have reduced the drag coefficient from 0.39 with the Huracan to 0.30.
Yes.
And I think downforce is up by 100%, and that's without the Alleggerita package, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. We have a clear philosophy. You know, a designer of super sports cars today need to be absolutely collaborative. Yes, we are working as a team. We have every week, I have a jour fix with the aerodynamical engineer, with the team of them, because I want to understand what is necessary, because I want to know early enough what are the requirements, what are the wishes, because then we can spend the right amount of time and develop the right design solutions. So in the end of the day, when I say this is, she is the rebellious little sister of the Revuelto, means also we wanted to have the agility on the car, because from the start you can see there's you know, being the follower of the Huracan, you have a compact proportion. The car looks agile. The car looks still compact. We did our magic with the plan shapes, because you know we have our design elements where we can make a car look more longer or shorter. And in the case of the Temerario, for sure, when we worked on all the surfaces, we, of course, the goal is always to be better than the predecessor. So with all these elements, we are, you know, in the end of the day, the perfection is the addition of every little detail, and like that, we are moving ahead.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the dimensions of the car. It's actually quite a bit bigger than the Huracan. I believe it's 250 millimeters longer, 70 millimeters wider.
Yeah.
But yet, just looking at it, one does not perceive so much that it looks almost kind of shrink wrapped over the axles.
Yes.
So the size is actually quite, or the increase in size is well hidden.
I mean, this is exactly the observation, the right observation. Also, you can take a note on how well the wheels are fitting into the body. We were spending a lot of time to make the wheel fit perfect. So, you know, also here, when you compare with the predecessor, we are really have the wheels fitting perfectly into the wheel arches. And you know, all these little things that we take care to make to create the perfect product.
Absolutely. And in terms of packaging, it must have been quite a challenge, because you've got, of course, you've got a much bigger cabin. You can fit, I believe, two
cabin
airport
trolley, yes.
cabin trolleys there, a couple of soft bags. And then in the cockpit, I think for even 2-meter tall drivers,
Yes.
there is, they can sit comfortably without feeling kind of hemmed in any way.
Yes, that was the challenge, but in a good way. You can take note that the car is a little bit higher than the Huracan. The Huracan was a little bit narrow for taller drivers. So also here we did our magic in design. So I was basically using a little bit this gurney bubble trick, having this part that is on top of the driver and passenger is a bit higher. Then the center surface, you can see painted in black, it is accelerated, having a profile shape, having a perfect, or giving us a perfect flow towards the rear wing. But in the same way, I could generate the roominess without losing or without jeopardizing the sexy proportions of a Lamborghini. The interior, as you already mentioned, gives you the feeling of feel like a pilot. It's also the new design philosophy that we have here, a slim dashboard, iconic elements, a perfect seat position, and I think you can see that in Lamborghini, not only the engineers they like driving, but also us as the designers, and this is reflected now with this new generation of interiors.
And that's exactly as it should be. So you mentioned the interior, so let's take a look inside.
Yes, I'm sitting now, I have the pleasure now to sit inside. So first of all, feel like a pilot means I have a perfect integrated seat position. In the case here, we have our sport seat that I can mechanically adjust to the millimeter. The Alleggerita pack is offering all the pieces in carbon fiber. We have a slim dashboard. We have the Y shape on the center console. I see always a little bit alien look in the air vents. I keep that up to everyone's fantasy. Then the interaction with the car. We have the new steering wheel with a perfect grip, perfect diameter, perfect inclination. And we have our, what we call the Anima button. This is the selector for the driving mode that I can adjust like a Formula 1 driver if you want. We have the launch control here, the lift function. Then, as Lamborghini is famous for, hexagonal shapes are continuing also here in the interior. So I have my center screen. I can select here all the widgets that I need for dynamic driving. I'm driving a lot, of course, with my wife, but then also with my son. So the passenger screen is like an entertainment screen, so we can swipe content from the center console into here, which is a cool function developed in Lamborghini, which is a nice interaction between the things. Then it's also cool because it's a cool design. It's very drivable, as you, I think you have experience on the track. You have then also a lot of space. You can have baggage behind the seats, but also for the daily driving, we have our cup holders integrated and also space for the telephones. So it is not only cool looking, it is consistent with our Feel Like a Pilot philosophy, but is very useful also for a nice weekend trip.
Indeed. I think a perfect daily driver, which...
if you want, of course. I mean, you see, there's plenty of space.
Yeah.
And on top of that, as a daily driver, of course, you know, depending on how much you want to be seen, when you see the opportunities that we have for the colors and the color and trim and all the nice specs that the customer will do. Here we see, as I said, a lot of carbon fiber. We see already also here reflected from the outside the yellow leather that we have here with the yellow center console. So on the outside we offer more than 400 different colors. If you go for fading effects or for liveries, you can multiply this number very easy. And in the interior, you can dress this car more elegant, more daily driver, more sporty, more track oriented. Also here we offer plenty of opportunities.
So there you have it, the all-new Lamborghini Temerario. Mitja, thank you very much. That was a very insightful design overview of the car. I like this one in Giallo Countach.
Yes.
But I look forward to seeing this in a whole array of colors, seeing as Lamborghini is the world champion of colors. So I thank you once again for the insight. That was most interesting. So
more than welcome, again. Yeah, and I wish everyone great moments when you will see the Temerario then out there on the streets.
Absolutely.
So enjoy the car. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thanks for watching. Hope you found the video interesting. Please share your comments. Of course, I'd be interested to hear what you think of the design, and I'm sure Mitja would be. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.